Hello, everybody. I'm Karley.
And I'm Nicole.
And we're here with Carter Vail, who's on tour right now for your album 100 Cowboys. Welcome to Boise.
Thanks so much for having me. It seems like a really cool city.
It is pretty cool. And we're here, student media, Boise State student media, so it's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so right off the bat, when you envision the Dirt Man, is he like made out of dirt or is he wearing a certain outfit? Like, what are you picturing?
I like the idea of him being made out of dirt. Although I haven't thought of that before seeing the question. I think it's like a bit of a mythical figure.
Okay, if you had to pick one of your songs that's most special to you, which would you pick?
The song that's most special to me is, I think right now it's Arizona.
We love Arizona. We love it.
Hell yeah. It was the last song we made on the record, and I don't know, it was just like a cool process to making it, and it felt really good to write.
Cool interlude track that you decide to include. It's got some awesome instrumentals, and I was wondering if you'd ever do any riffs like that in the future that are like bluesy, soul-esque.
I'd love to make a whole record like that. I think 100 Cowboys initially was like gonna be entirely that kind of stuff.
Really?
But
okay.
then, I mean, I make indie rock music primarily,
Yeah.
and so that's what it came out as. With interlude, that was just me and my friend Noah couldn't come up with anything that day, and so we just started recording, and that's what came out. But I would love to do more stuff like that in the future.
Okay, how do you approach songwriting? Do you start with lyrics, a melody, or something else entirely?
I think the lyrics and the melody and the chords kind of all come at the same time, for me at least. Like, for the most part, if I come up with a melody, it'll be immediately accompanied by a chord progression. So it's kind of all at once. It'll just be like a moment of music that comes out, and then I'll be like, okay, how does this make sense in the rest of the song? Or how would this work in the rest of a song world? Yeah, it's just kind of whenever creativity strikes, it's usually like a whole screenshot of an idea.
Yeah, that's good to know for when I create my imaginary band.
Yes.
When I learn an instrument, create a band,
It's all very possible. You should do it.
Okay.
It's way easier than people think.
Do you enjoy performing your TikTok famous songs more, or like earlier songs like Silent Movies and Melatonin?
It's all fun to do. I mean, it's
Yeah.
all performing. I think when we don't play a lot of the really old stuff, but when someone asks for the old stuff, that's always exciting because it's like, oh, people actually know this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a cool thing. So I think when like someone asks for Tigers on Trains, it feels really special.
Yeah, your vocals sound totally different to your earlier stuff.
I feel like so much of like the artist thing is like just experimenting with a bunch of different sounds, and then at some point you land on something that hopefully people like. And we're still trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a pre-show ritual, like a secret handshake with your bandmates? Do you sing a little song to your guitar? Do you dance in the green room? What are you doing?
I usually kiss each of my bandmates on the forehead, and they kiss me on the forehead.
That's so cute.
It's very sweet. It's a very sweet thing.
We need to get a pre-show ritual
for
these interviews.
Yes, it helps a lot.
Yeah, I bet it does.
I saw a clip of your podcast where you said that you haven't gotten a lot of luck in like tastemaker support. Would you say that incorporating comedy has changed that at all?
I think actually a big reason I wasn't getting tastemakers support in this stuff was because I was doing comedy stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like I was doing, serious quote unquote indie music as well as like short funny TikToks. And I think people saw that and they didn't like it. But now hopefully I think people are starting to care. I mean, like it's been cool because I've found an audience through the funny stuff. But now like people in labels are starting to be like, oh, this is a serious thing, which is cool. It's a lot of fun.
I think we need humor right now. I think that there's a lot going on. People love it, so it's important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any fun stories about your time touring with Young Gravy?
We haven't got to like hang out that much just because they're in a bus, and so that means they get to drive overnight, and we're in a van, so that means we're kind of always catching up to them. Okay. So it's like we get to the show, and they've been there for a few hours already, and then as soon as we play, we pretty much have to leave. Really? So they're like, we haven't had a good chance to. I mean, when we have hung out, he's a really nice guy, but we don't have any like crazy stories yet.
Yeah. No like bungee jumping together, holding hands.
There's nothing that I can say on the camera.
Okay,
When you think of the greatest singer-songwriters of all time, and you feel like that weight on your chest, who influenced you the most when you wrote the masterpiece that is Baked Alaska?
It's Leonard Cohen.
Right.
No, I think the stuff that influences Baked Alaska is just like the band Cherub. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Cherub, and like Daft Punk. Just trying to have fun with it. It's fun to write like sad music, but then it's also fun to just write some fun nonsense.
Yeah.
I think it's also kind of like influenced by Phoenix. If y'all are familiar with Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, kind of going along with that, just like general music inspirations for like all your stuff. Who would you say?
I think my biggest influences to date have been Vampire Weekend and The National.
Okay.
Probably those two.
Okay. Good polls.
Yep.
Yeah. And who would you want to collaborate with?
I'm weird with collaboration. I don't really like collaborating with people I don't know very well. So all the people I collaborate with are like the people I went to college with.
Yeah.
Okay. I recently saw an interview where you praised like physical instruments. So how would you say that like performing live is different than recording in studio? What do you get out of it?
It's performing live's a lot sweatier.
Okay.
Which is cool. It's a lot more energy. It's a lot of fun. Performing in a studio is just like very comfortable, and you're in a room and just hanging out and doing stuff. This is like if you mess up, everyone's listening to you mess up.
Right.
In a studio, you can mess up and just keep on trying it again and again. I like both. I think of myself primarily as a recording musician, but playing live is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
What are your tour essentials? Like a favorite book, a snack? We both said Cheez-Its earlier would be like our thing.
Interesting.
We'd have to have. But anything for you?
I think Cheez-Its would be my bass player's go-to.
Really?
He loves Cheez-Its. Mine,
Classic.
we've been doing a lot of like veggie platters, which is kind of lame.
Okay.
Honestly, there's so much like junk food on the road that anytime you see a vegetable, you're like, whoa, that's crazy. And then it feels really good.
Broccoli? Wow.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Also, I just got a Kindle, which I'm really excited about.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
What are you reading?
I just finished this book called, I think it's called When We Forget Our Humanity.
Oh.
Okay.
I could be getting that wrong, but it's about a bunch of mathematicians, and it's really good.
What city are you most excited to visit other than Boise, of course?
I don't know if I was like particularly excited about any individual city because I haven't been to most of them. The most impressed I've been has been Boise. I don't know if the weather's usually like this, but this is the best ever.
It's been really hot, so I think you came at a great time.
Yep, I'm loving it so far. The city's really cool. We got to walk around. Boise is the answer.
Yes.
Boise or Boise?
Boise.
Boise.
Yeah.
Boise.
I've been corrected many times.
What is your favorite album of all time? Easy question. I know you have it right there.
I don't know if I have an all-time favorite. I have a couple records that I've like. I think the one that I've like listened to top to bottom most recently and loved all the songs is Volcano by Jungle.
Okay.
Love that record. Yeah, I don't think I have an all-time. Maybe Boxer by The National.
Okay.
That's up there.
What's something you're passionate about that most people don't know?
I really like listening to Dungeons and Dragons podcasts. It's making an enormous resurgence in culture, which I'm down for. That I like jujitsu a lot. Those are like the only things I would do. That and music.
Last question.
Okay.
What excites you about the future? Are there any dream projects you love to tackle that you haven't explored yet?
I think everything is exciting to me about the future. Like just continuing to like do the things I'm currently doing is really exciting for me. I feel like I'm already doing the thing I want to be doing, which is making music. But I'm excited to make more music and put out more records.
We're excited to see what you do in the future.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Boise.
Boise.